Hi, I'm Jen, and this is Books and Matcha. This week we are doing a reading vlog where I read a thriller, a horror, and a science fiction. It was a really great stretch of reading, so come set up the hammock with me and let's get reading. So I just started reading A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall, and I'm only a couple of pages in, and my God, I love Kate Alice Marshall. She has typically written horror books in the past, and she now writes adult thrillers, but she still has this sense of weird imagination. And right off the bat, we are in this car. Our main character is with her boyfriend, and we get in this strange incident with a deer in the snow, and it's just so Kate Alice Marshall, and I'm just so happy to be reading this. I'm super excited. I've read the first 4 chapters, and our main characters, Theo and Connor, are engaged, and Theo is going to meet Connor's family at a secluded family retreat. Theo's main concern is that Connor's family isn't going to like her, but this is a thriller, so I'm assuming his family is probably going to get pretty creepy. So I'm going to do some car reading today. My original plan was to take my book over to Starbucks, but it was absolutely freezing inside. So I just grabbed my latte and I'm going to park and read. Where I left off last was chapter 4. And I wanted to mention one of my biggest pet peeves in all of reading is dream sequences. I cannot stand dream sequences. But chapter 5 starts out with, "That night I have the dream." That was so easy. Now I know it's just a dream. It's not, "Oh my God, somebody died. Oh, it was a dream." Or, "Oh my God, this, that, and the other. Oh, it was just a dream." I think part of the reason I get so mad about dream sequences is authors are too afraid to do these things in the actual narrative. So they just put them in a dream and then say, "Oh, it was a dream." But the dream itself is part of the story. So instead of me wondering what kind of cuckoo thing was going on, I know, like from the get-go, that night I have the dream. Thank you. All authors, take note. Okay, so now that I've gotten that out of my system, I am going to read for a while for lunch and update after a little while. I'm about to go in Barnes, but before I do, I want to give you an update on A Killing Cold. I finished reading it last night and I loved it, but I feel like there's a lot of comparisons that can be made between A Killing Cold and the author's What Lies in the Woods. If you loved What Lies in the Woods, then I would definitely recommend A Killing Cold. I think you'll like that one too. But if you hated What Lies in the Woods, there's a good chance that you aren't going to like this one either, because there's some of the same elements that might frustrate you, like the main character not being able to remember things. And also the end was twist after twist on twist, and it got exhausting even for me, having enjoyed it. I'm going to wind up giving this one 4 stars. I did enjoy it, but something to keep in mind if you read What Lies in the Woods and didn't enjoy that. And now I am about to head into Barnes. on a little after work walk. So I started listening to Delilah Dawson's Bloom on the way home, and I love the narrator. I think her name is Sarah Beth Fisher, and she's very upbeat. So I think this book is going to wind up getting really dark. So it makes me happy that she's all cutesy and upbeat. And so far, I've only read a few chapters, and our main character, Ro, is at a farmer's market, and she met a vendor named Ash. And Ro thinks she might be interested in more than Ash's farmer's goods. I'm assuming the title Bloom has something to do with the fact that we are discussing plants, and Ro is taking on plants and learning how to care for them. And I'm a plant person, so I think this is one that I'm going to wind up loving. So I finished reading Bloom today, and I had pretty strong theories while I was reading it about what was happening and where it was going to go, but I definitely did not guess where it did wind up going. If you like horror, I do recommend this. I'm only giving it 4 stars because it's not one that I'm going to recommend widely to everybody. But if you love horror, especially short, weird, hard to guess where it's going horror, I would highly recommend that you check out Bloom. I have no idea what I'm going to read next. Bloom threw me for a loop, and I'm not really sure if I want to continue on the horror vibe or if I want to jump back into thriller or switch genres. I'm going to need to figure out what kind of vibe I'm in the mood for now. So I wound up having such a book hangover after I finished reading Bloom, and I bounced around from book to book hoping that something would stick. And I finally landed on the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. The 5th season is the first book in the Broken Earth trilogy, and in this, Father Earth has broken the earth. And there are people who are able to draw power from the earth and cause a lot of damage. So those people are feared and typically eliminated. I've been wanting to read this series for so long because everyone praises it so highly. I feel like the only negative thing I have seen towards the series is towards the writing, and I'm finding the writing to be fabulous. There are some point of view chapters that are written in second person. Normally I don't like second person, but I think that her writing is great and I'm enjoying those chapters. It's sci-fi dystopian, but it's also fantasy magic, so I feel like I'm going to wind up really loving this series. I am 116 pages in. I'm really loving this, and I will be back with an update once I've had a chance to read some more. So I have not been able to put this down, and I am up to chapter 16 now, which is page 277, more than halfway through, and I am loving this. By the time I got to chapter 10, I had full body goosebumps, and I'm having like an emotional reaction to this book because I'm just loving it so much. This book is exactly why I read. The science slash fantasy, the characters, the world building. It's like the holy grail of reading when you're just this immersed and this in love with the story that you're reading. I have a feeling I'm going to read the rest of this book really quickly, so I probably won't be back with another update until I'm finished, which will probably be tomorrow. Finished reading the 5th season, and there's a lot for me to wrap my head around. I'm still reeling from the ending, but definitely 5 stars, 5 stars all the way. I feel like I knew going into this that I would either love it or hate it, so I'm obviously so glad that I'm on the love side. I feel like I want to go read a bunch of reviews and see opinions on this. I feel like the main negative that I've seen is the writing, and the only thing I can figure is that there are some second person point of view chapters like I mentioned before. But honestly, I want to go read Jemisin's entire backlog. I'm ready. I'm ready to be a Jemisin super fan. I think I need to go ahead and make my list of favorite all-time sci-fi because I see that I'm already adding new ones to that list. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I am brand new here, so go ahead and do that. It would help me. I have a lot of plans, such as that sci-fi list. And thank you so much for watching this vlog. If you don't have anything else to say, just leave me the blue heart emoji, and I will talk to you soon.